In 1989, Eric and Lyle shot and killed their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez. A year later, the boys were convicted and sentenced to life in prison. This controversial case is still talked about to this day in documentaries and other social medias. Today, I want to talk about why I think the boys did not deserve life in prison. The first point I want to discuss is the years of trauma and abuse the boys endured. Kitty and Jose seemed like the perfect parents, sending them to the top schools and involving them in all their extracurricular activities. But in the home, they were truly monsters. Lyle shared the story of how he found out his pet had been bashed in by his parents. This traumatized him so badly that he peed the bed until he was 14. In other heartbreaking testimonies, Lyle and Eric Menendez shared that they were brutally molested and raped from their father over years. In 2023, on the Today Show, a former member of the Menudo band claimed Jose had also assaulted him. Jose's former co-workers claimed that he was a very aggressive man as well. When the boys tried to confide in their mother about the rapes, Kitty said, quote, "Your father has to punish you when you do wrong," end quote. And when Eric had confided in Lyle about how he also was being raped, Lyle tried to protect his younger brother by confronting Jose. Jose said, quote, "He's my son, I can do what I want," end quote. This terrified the boys, and they truly believed that Jose was going to murder them to keep the secret. The second point I want to discuss is the mental state of the brothers and their lack of premeditation. The defense team argued that this was a reaction from years of abuse, not a calculated plan. Psychologist William F. Kennedy testified in court, saying that the boys had signs of post-traumatic stress disorder that manifested into, quote, flashbacks, nightmares, and a heightened state of anxiety, end quote. All of this to say, this showed that the boys may not have understood their actions at the time of the murder. My third point I want to discuss is the boys' growth and rehabilitation while being in prison. The boys have shown significant acknowledge of the depth of their actions. They have chosen to seek therapy and better themselves. For example, Lyle has raised more than $250,000 in the program called Green Space, a foundation which plants trees and outdoor community and helps the outdoor community spaces. Eric has also written about his immense regret and remorse for the situation, for the murders. According to the Department of Justice, studies show that rehabilitation and education.
What happened?
According to the Department of Justice, studies have shown that rehabilitation and educational programs reduce the likelihood of returning to prison by 43%, and then the prisoners can reintegrate into society. Lyle and Eric are over 50 years old and have been in prison for 25 years. In conclusion, I do not think the boys should have gotten off scot-free. In the end, they shot and killed their parents. However, the boys were brutally taken advantage of by the people who were supposed to love them the most. The parents have gotten their justice, but do I think the boys have? I don't think so. Thank you.